Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. And today our special guests are from CCNB Innov. So we have Scott Tidd and we've got Andre Vienneau. And both of them are connected to us somewhat. Last couple of weeks ago we started with on Northern Heat, and we were talking to a group of students from CCNB Business Group that are helping us market a new product that we just developed called GemWood. Well, we've also approached Innov to ask them to work with us and to create, design, develop, build the equipment that's going to be helping us get there. So, Scott, seeing you're in business development, you told me a while ago.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Innov.
With the group Innov, we have multiple different sites around the province, and right now we're in Bathurst, of course. Our site in Bathurst, we're essentially a prototyping center, so we're advanced manufacturing and welding, which means people can come to us with ideas, and we can work with them on a feasibility study to understand if the idea will work, proof of concept to see how it works, the prototype before they get into their item into the market, and then a machine to build their prototype as they go into production. So we can carry someone right from an idea to the first level of their production lines.
And that's what we've done with you, right? So we started, I can't remember how long ago now.
About a year and a half ago,
Is
maybe
it?
by now. Yeah.
Is it that long? Oh my God. So we started about a year and a half ago, and we went through that because I needed to know what it would cost actually to build this equipment, and what we needed to do, be able to know for the capital required to be able to do this, and timing also to be able to get that product out there. And that turned into, okay, well now we're in a different point. We've got that design work. Now it's time to look at building the equipment, and that's what you're working on now.
And it's the smart steps to do it is to make sure that you, as a company, are investing your money and time wisely, and that's where we come in to help. We're essentially at the root of it. There's 30 of us around the province, and we are an economic development tool. So companies such as yourself can leverage our specialists to help build your business case to either bring something to the bank for lending or to be able to move your production line to a higher efficiency or higher production or even new products into the market. And working with you, that's what we've been able to do. And now we're into that next phase where we're working on the prototype for market validation.
So then that ties into Andre a little bit. And everybody that's watching us and following us, you met Andre a few weeks back when we interviewed him, because a little bit one of his sidelines is the microgreens and what you're growing. But now you're in the job that pays a lot more than the microgreens. But actually, what's your role within this project?
My role is a project manager. So basically, when these guys find projects for us, they bring it downstairs to us, and we take over the project from there. We manage everything from budget, ordering parts, and designing, fabricating, and communicating with the client also all throughout the project.
So as far as I know through this, there's 4 or 5 people already that are involved with this project, or maybe more, I don't know.
There's, at this stage, I'd say almost everyone from our team has been engaged at one point or another.
Yeah.
We're within our Bathurst site, we're 14 of us, and Andre, as a project manager, if he needs access to information that the mechanical engineer might be able to give him, then he will sit down and have a meeting with him. Or in the same regards, if he needs to go after and talk with some of the structural information, then he can speak with one of our guys about what the structural is for one of the press that we're designing.
So in this case, it's a one-stop shopping, because we started off with the feasibility, now we're into design work and into the building, and actually the construction of this has already started because I was in the shop a while ago. So as we go through this, just like we're going to do with the students, we're going to come back and interview everybody individually, and who are they, what are they doing here, and part of this whole story, because it all comes back to the community has worked together on this, right? Scott, we've known each other now for a few years. You're a musician, so
yes.
That also helps tie into the product that we're making. So
I'm excited to see the final product on in my hand. Is what I'm looking forward to seeing. As a musician of 20-some years, this is an exciting personal interest in the development of this project.
Absolutely. And Andre, you're a musician too, right?
Yeah.
You play music? Yeah, I've heard stories about you playing in my basement once before when we were gone on a holiday, you and my son and a few other couple hundred people. But we won't get there. We won't talk about that. It hasn't bothered me. It's still right in my craw. But other than that, it's great working with you guys. I've enjoyed the experience since the beginning. It'll be interesting to see how this flows all the way through, and the more and more that we can have interviews and know a little bit more about everybody, because I think it's really important that we demonstrate and show what you guys can do that is being built in northern New Brunswick, because I think that that's really turning on the heat. You work on a number of projects. I've seen downstairs you've got, robotic welding machines, and you're doing some stuff, and you're showing how that part of the business can be made. You're already applying for other grants and stuff for automation and stuff, and we were talking about that today, where there's people coming down to be interviewed and how that can grow. So the opportunities of growth for you guys is great, and that's growth for northern New Brunswick. It's growth for us, I think, and excellent stuff.
We're very proud of the work that's been done. Even looking at the group, that's what the group has been able to produce over the last 5 years. We've been ranked one of the top 25 colleges, research centers across Canada. So that's 5 years consecutively. Now, I haven't been here for these 5 years, but there's, Andre's been here for quite a few of these years, and some of our guys have had, we have some upwards of 11 years, I believe now. Some passionate individuals that is making a national mark right here in northern New Brunswick.
Well, I met one gentleman at one time that he's a specialist in welding or something, and there's like only 2 or 3 in the world or something like that, people that have this knowledge.
When we went on so that's one of our, we have our advanced manufacturing and our advanced welding. Within the advanced welding, we have 2 welding engineers on staff. Our search criteria only brought up a couple of hundred globally, and we were able to get 2 specialists, each with a master's in a certain area, one in metallurgy and one in surface coatings.
So here we are, again, northern New Brunswick, turning on the heat and bringing people in from all over the world to work together here and to make things happen for the industry. And on a personal note, for Thermalwood Canada, I really want to appreciate it and thank you very much for the help that you're doing, and for the rest of New Brunswick and the rest of the Maritimes and the rest of Canada that is going to have an advantage of working with you guys in the future. So looking forward to having more interviews and following this project as we go, and thank you very much for being part of GemWood and making that a real passion on our part of being able to, again, we're going out to save a tree in Africa. Yeah. All done from a community that people thought a number of years ago that was going to end on their own. Yeah. And now look at this, we've got groups like yourselves here, so I think that that's really good. So really appreciate the interview today. Thank you very much. Andre, appreciate it that you're coming in. And we'll definitely be talking again. So if you know of anybody that has a story worthwhile telling and that they're turning on the heat in northern New Brunswick, get a hold of us and we'll gladly put them on air.